We have Bystial Dragonmaid. I've been waiting to see this deck actually do something. We have Hero going second, OTK, and a Naturia deck pre-Ishizu good stuff. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. We'll be looking at a Bystial, yes, Dragonmaid Albaz deck. This is basically Despia Bystial with a slight Dragonmaid package built into this to kind of facilitate some extra power for this deck. Now, I've actually was really happy to see this because, you know, being able to put the Omni Negate on the field is really, really incredible. You just have to have, what, a level 5 or higher dragon monster to do that. All of your friends here basically supplement access for that, so you're going to get some pretty good combo lines going. So we have 2 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, 1 copy of Jerusalem, triple copies of Magnemite, 2 copies of Saranir. We have triple copies of Chamber Dragonmaid, 1 copy of Lapore, triple copies of Effect Veiler, 1 Fallen of Albaz, triple copies of Fenrir. We have triple copies of Parlor, triple copies of Lubellion, triple copies of Branded Fusion, 1 Branded Regained, 1 copy of Changeover, 1 copy of Hospitality, triple copies of Pot of Prosperity, 1 Branded Beast, 2 Tidying, and triple copies of Infinite Impermanence here, wrapping up your main deck. Down here in the extra deck, you have 1 Striker Dragon, 2 Heretic Spheres, 1 Pisty, 1 Willow, 1 Atum, 1 copy of M7, 1 Mirror Jade, 1 Lubellion, 2 House Dragonmaids, 2 copies of Shio, and 2 copies of Albion here. So you're getting really spicy here. So here you have triple copies of Droll and Lockbird, triple copies of Cosmic Cyclone, triple copies of the Eradicator Epidemic Virus, triple copies of Evenly Matched, and triple copies of Rivalry of the Warlords here. Wrapping up one of your most hecked out versions of this deck that I've seen in a little while, and I do like what they're essentially trying to do here in terms of, you know, balancing out the power, trying to kind of counteract a lot of the engines to make sure that all of the pieces fall in while checking the meta. Definitely one of my favorite builds so far. Next up, this was a going second Hero OTK that I was told about from this duelist, and I was like, you know what? This deck managed to get a first place. We'll talk about it a little bit because Lightning Storms, Regekis, Droplets, and Super Polys all built into the deck. Essentially, you're good to go. And I mean, a Hero Lives is going to further facilitate your OTK pressure. You got to have your opponent go first, make their board, and then you have to start wallowing down from there in order to kind of make sure that you can win the game. Once all of the pieces are in place, you should essentially be good to go and attempt to win the game. So we have triple copies of Vion, 2 copies of Shadow Mist, 1 Stratos, 1 Liquid Soldier, 1 Honest Neos, 1 Effect Veiler, 1 Tragedy with 2 Alubers, 1 Fallen of Albaz, 1 Dramaturge, triple copies of A Hero Lives, triple copies of Branded Fusion, triple copies of Branded Opening, 1 Branded in Red, triple copies of Lightning Storm, triple copies of Regeki, triple copies of Forbidden Droplet, triple copies of Super Polymerization, 1 copy of Rhoda, 1 Polymerization, 1 Miracle Fusion, 1 Mash Change, and 1 copy of Called by the Grave. So your main deck is pretty standard stuff here. Extra deck down, you have 1 Guardian Chimera, 1 Starving Venom, 1 copy of Mud, 1 Garuda, 1 Masquerade, 1 Mirror Jade with 1 Lubellion, 2 copies of Albion, 1 Vision Hero Trinity, 1 Shining, 1 Escuridao, 1 Absolute Zero, 1 Sunrise, and 1 Darklaw. And then we got triple Godarla, triple copies of Ghostbell, triple copies of DD Crow, triple copies of Cosmic Cyclone. Actually playing 2 Book of Moon and 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster here, wrapping up your Hero OTK with your Albaz package. Definitely some interesting Albaz shenanigans going on here. Next up was a Naturia deck, and this is actually pretty interesting because this list ended up bubbling and missing the chance to make day 2 out of the last YCS. Now with the Ishizu cards, you're going to see this deck actually kind of undergo an evolution, which will turn this deck into kind of like an anti-meta monster, where it'll start, you know, going through milling processes, using those mills to drop the trees, and basically start creating this hand scenario where the deck wants to loop, you know, Naturia Blessings to put these additional monsters on the field, and then, you know, you're going to use your big old negates to to do things. This card basically allows some of the coolest interactions within the deck. So we have 2 copies of Naturia Antdraw, 1 Horn Needle, 1 Sunflower, 1 Rose Whip, 1 Bamboo Shoot, triple copies of Camellia, triple copies of the Mole Cricket, triple copies of the Awakening Forest, Fertilesif, triple copies of the Flourishing Hills, 1 copy of the Flowering Fields, 1 copy of Vera, triple copies of the Mistling Seedlings, triple copies of the Thawing Mountains, and triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Then we have 1 copy of the Vernalsif in full bloom, triple copies of Naturia's Blessings, triple copies of Pot of Prosperity, triple Super Poly, triple copies of the Vernalsif Corolla, 2 copies of the Sacred Tree, and then 1 copy of Vernalsif and the Flower Buds. Then in the next check, we have 1 Syncada King, 2 copies of Land Turd. Yes, Land Noise is actually getting the chance to see some play here. We have 2 copies of Naturia Beast, 1 Go Your Guardian, 1 copy of Crystal Wing, 1 Black Rose, 1 Baron, 1 Starving Venom, 1 Draco Stapelia, 1 Exterio, 1 Mud Dragon, and 1 Garuda. Then we have triple copies of Cosmic Cyclone, triple copies of Dark Roll No More, triple copies of the Earth Shattering Event. If card to card sent from the deck to the graveyard, target 1 card, neither player's graveyard shuffled into the deck. Also, neither player can send cards from the deck to the graveyard for the rest of this turn. Pretty good. Then we have triple copies of Lightning Storm and triple copies of Imperial Iron Wall here, wrapping up your Naturia combo deck. Next up here is a Bystial Adventure deck. Now, I saw this list and I was like, what in the world are we doing here? You're basically using your Adventure Good Stuff package kind of as a means for the former to be able to synchro. And we've seen stuff like this before, you know, your Rose Dragon package. So to see that the Bystial stuff is supplementing this engine and allowing this deck the chance to still exist within the confines of the format is actually quite impressive to me. So we have triple copies of Drystan, triple copies of Magnamut, triple copies of Saronir, triple copies of Lubellion, 1 copy of Red Rose Dragon, 1 Rox Rose with 1 Illegal Knight. We have 1 Griffin Rider, triple copies of Yield Water Enchantress, 1 Faithful Adventure, 1 Dracoback, triple copies of Rite of Armesia. Then we have triple Pot of Prosperity, triple copies of Talents, triple copies of Super Poly, 1 Call by the Grave, 1 Foolish Barrel, 1 Basil Rose Shoot, 1 Branded Regained, 1 Branded Banishment, and triple copies of Infinite Impermanence. Then in the next check, you got 1 Unicorn, 1 Dehark, 1 Borreload, 1 Wollo, of course, 1 Gaia Dragon, 1 Zeus with a 1 Beatrice. We have 1 Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, 1 Krokazor, 1 Changying, 1 Baron with a 1 Psychic and Punisher, 1 Draco Stapelia, 1 Mudmud, and 1 Garuda. Side deck here, you got 1 Artifact Scythe, 2 Ash Blossom, triple copies of Lava Golem, triple copies of Cosmic Cyclone, triple Dark Ruler No More, and triple copies of Artifact Sanctum here. Wrapping up your former adventure package, getting a new spin and actually kind of showing us that, you know, all things considered for how the format has shifted, a deck like this getting the chance to show up is actually really cool in my personal opinion. This is so exciting. And the last one we have here is another Despia take. Now, Despia has kind of undergone evolutions. I mean, like, you've seen this deck merge with Tyr, you've now seen it merge with Hero. You know, all of these fusion-based strategies just are like, oh, you know what? We can go ahead and we can incorporate this package and we can do the thing. Well, that basically allows you to step back and look at former Despia builds, you know, where these original takes on this deck were needing basically to find ways in order to do their thing. For an example here, we were playing 2 Blazing Cartesias. Basically gives you an additional fusion fodder step here to facilitate what this deck wants to do. So we have 1 copy of Ablidium, 1 Dramaturge, triple copies of Alubar, triple copies of Tragedy. We have 2 Blazing Cartesia, triple copies of Egypt Chain, triple copies of Fallen of Albaz, 1 Spriggan's Kit, 1 Trier Brigade Mercurier. We have 2 copies of Branded in Red, triple copies of Branded Fusion, triple Branded Opening, triple Branded, Fright for Patchwork, 1 Branded Lost, triple Lore Darkness, triple Super Polymerization, 2 Polys, 1 Call by the Grave, and 1 Despia Theater. Then we have 1 Mirror Jade, 1 copy of Starving Venom, 1 Mirror Jade, this was Titanic Lab, my bad. We have 2 Masquerade, 2 Lubellions, 2 Guardian Chimeras, 1 Garuda, 1 Quadratus, 1 Proskinian, 2 Albion, and 1 copy of Alba Lenitus here, wrapping up your chunk of interesting decks. out of this block. So, what do you guys think about these deck profiles? Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later with some more cool house content. You guys stay safe, alright? Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.